When I discovered my husband took his mistress on the anniversary trip he promised me, I sent her a gift she'd never forget, wrapped inside a betrayal neither of them saw coming. Before starting the story, where in the world are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. Let's just say no one saw that ending coming. I booked a cabin in Aspen 6 months ago. The same one where we spent our honeymoon, where we danced barefoot in the snow and whispered promises over hot chocolate. I thought reliving those memories might help us remember who we used to be, before the silence, before the half-hearted kisses and cold dinners. I wrapped the reservation confirmation in a little box and gave it to him on our 9th anniversary. He smiled, distracted, barely looking up from his phone. "Sounds nice," he said. That should have been my clue. But I held on to hope like it was oxygen. I planned every detail. Matching scarves, late-night fondue, a handwritten letter I meant to read by the fire. He told me he'd been busy at work and needed time. So I agreed to let him go first. "I'll join you in 2 days," I said. I kissed him goodbye at the airport, not knowing he wasn't going alone. Not knowing I'd just sent him off to paradise, with her. 3 days before the trip, he claimed a work emergency had come up. "I'll go early to handle it, then meet you at the cabin," he said. I didn't question him. I'd been so desperate to fix us, I ignored all the red flags waving in my face. The sudden gym obsession. The locked phone. The late-night texts where he'd laugh quietly and walk away. I blamed myself, thinking maybe I wasn't fun enough, exciting enough. Maybe he just needed a reminder of what we once had. I made excuses for his distance because I thought love meant patience. But love shouldn't make you feel like a stranger in your own marriage. When he left, he barely hugged me. No "I love you," no smile. Just a pat on the shoulder and a quick, "Take care of the dogs." My stomach twisted as he wheeled his suitcase out the door. I watched from the window, something inside me whispering, "He's not coming back the same man." I had no idea how right I was. The silence in our home was louder than ever. I walked room to room, half hoping he'd forgotten something just so I'd feel close to him again. I opened the closet and noticed he took the leather jacket I bought him. He hadn't worn it in months. Something about that stung more than it should have. I tried distracting myself with laundry, dishes, even vacuuming places that didn't need cleaning. But the quiet made my thoughts scream. Was he thinking about me? Did he remember our first snowfall there? The fireplace we nearly burned down trying to make s'mores? Or was he with someone else? I opened our shared laptop to check the Airbnb app and confirm the reservation, but I noticed something else instead. A notification from our shared airline account. 1 itinerary. 2 tickets. I clicked before my heart could catch up. My name wasn't on them. Hers was. Who the hell was Courtney? My hands shook as the truth sank in. He wasn't going to meet me. He'd replaced me. Courtney Lynn Parker. Seat 14B, next to my husband. Booked 2 weeks ago. Flying out the same day he told me he needed space. I stared at the screen, each detail cutting me open. Her profile photo looked young, too young. Beachy blonde, pouty smile. Tan lines that didn't come from our snowy winters. The booking used our airline miles. My mouth went dry. I called him once. No answer. Straight to voicemail. I texted. "Is this a mistake?" I watched those 3 dots appear, then disappear. No reply. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just sat there, perfectly still, like a body trying to stay alive in freezing water. That's when I opened Instagram and found her account. Public. Full of sunsets, fitness selfies, and, God help me, a boomerang of them clinking wine glasses at the airport lounge. I zoomed in. He was wearing the scarf I packed for him. The one I'd bought for our trip. My fingers clenched so hard the mouse cracked. I didn't want revenge. Not yet. I wanted the truth. Scrolling deeper into her profile felt like peeling my skin off. There they were. laughing over dinner, snowboarding together, even a hot tub pic with her legs wrapped around him like he was already hers. The caption said, "Finally found someone who sees me. He used to say that about me." I didn't eat for 24 hours. My body couldn't accept food. It could barely accept the betrayal. I remembered how he said he wasn't ready for kids, just a few weeks ago. And now he was playing house with a woman who looked like she just finished college. That's when I noticed something else. The necklace she wore in 2 of the photos. Small emerald pendant, vintage gold chain. I had lost it months ago. Or thought I had. That was the moment I stopped crying. Because I realized something deep inside me had flipped. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to plan. Because if he thought he'd humiliate me quietly, he had no idea what I was about to send her. The emerald necklace she wore gleamed like a slap in the face. I'd bought it for myself after landing my first promotion, told him it made me feel powerful. He said it was a bit much, and I hadn't seen it since. Now it rested on her neck, in the middle of a snow-covered cabin I paid for, with the man I married curled beside her like I never existed. The audacity felt like poison in my veins. But I didn't scream. I studied their photos like a crime scene. I noticed little things. His hand always turned away. Her posts all tagged but never mutual. He was hiding her publicly but treating her like a queen in private. Just not his queen. I opened a folder on my laptop and dragged in everything. Screenshots, receipts, airline bookings. Evidence. Cold, clear, undeniable. I knew I'd need it. Not just for the courts but for the next move I was planning. And trust me, it wasn't a tantrum. It was a performance. I wasn't done with them. Not yet. I paced for hours that night, clutching the necklace I'd ordered a duplicate of months ago. Something told me it might resurface. My breathing was shallow, panic trying to crawl up my throat. But anger kept it down. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was insulted. He thought he could erase me quietly. Trade 9 years of marriage for a snow bunny and a few lies. The audacity fueled something new. Precision. I wasn't going to throw clothes on the lawn or call her in rage. Well, I wanted something more unforgettable. I called my lawyer at 11 p.m. Yes, he answered. Tell me what it would take to file same-day divorce papers, I asked calmly. He paused. It's possible, but are you sure? I'm not sure of anything, I said. Except that I want her to open something from me. While they're still on my trip. That's when the idea hit me. Gift box. Hand wrap. Elegant. And inside, her surprise. The necklace. Photos. And the divorce papers. Classy, cold, and explosive. When I explained what I wanted to do, my lawyer actually chuckled. That's theatrical, he said. But not illegal. Just unusual. Perfect. I told him to draw up the papers and have them notarized within 24 hours. Include every bank statement. All my proof. And make sure it's airtight, I said. I wasn't doing this to play games. I was closing the book and mailing the ending directly to the villain. I went to the local packaging store and picked out a cream box with a velvet ribbon. I wrote a small card. For Courtney. Since you've already taken my place, might as well make it official. I placed the duplicate necklace inside, then the printed screenshots, then the signed papers with a sticky note that read, "Enjoy Aspen." My hands shook as I sealed it. But not with fear, with satisfaction. It was beautiful. It looked like a gift someone would give a bridesmaid. Not the woman who helped detonate a marriage. But that's what made it perfect. Let them both unwrap the consequences. I paid extra for overnight delivery. Addressed it to the resort in Aspen. Attention to Courtney Parker. I even used a calligraphy pen to write her name on the tag. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying. Beyond words. I imagined her sitting by the fireplace, sipping wine, laughing at some private joke with my husband. And then, the knock at the door. Delivery for Miss Parker. I imagined her surprise as she untied the ribbon, thinking it was another romantic gesture from him. I imagined his face when he saw my handwriting, his stomach dropping, his heart pounding. 'Cause he knew what I was capable of. Inside that box wasn't just paper. It was the truth, laid out with grace and finality. I didn't scream. I didn't call. I didn't threaten. I gifted her everything I had left to give: closure, clarity, and legal consequences. It was the kind of revenge you don't get arrested for. The kind that earns a standing ovation. And it was only just beginning. I tracked the package like a hawk. Delivered. Line 4. Room 304, his reservation. My hands trembled not from nerves, but from adrenaline. It was done. I called the resort anonymously and asked, "Has Miss Courtney Parker received her gift?" The concierge smiled through the phone. "Yes, ma'am. Hand-delivered this morning." I whispered a thank you and hung up. Then I poured a glass of wine, sat back and waited. It didn't take long. 4 hours later I got a call from an unknown number. I didn't pick up. Then a text. From him. "What the hell is this?" I didn't respond. A minute later. "We need to talk. You're being crazy." And finally. "Please. I didn't want you to find out like this." I laughed. Loud. He planned to lie to my face when he got back. But I beat him to the truth. And she hadn't posted anything since the box arrived. No more boomerangs. No more wine glasses. Just silence. Exactly the way betrayal deserves to sound. I expected anger. I expected damage control. But what I didn't expect was desperation. He called 9 times that night. Left voicemails. Each one messier than the last. "You're blowing this out of proportion. I was going to tell you. She means nothing." That last one almost made me pity him, almost. The man who replaced me lied to me, and took another woman on our trip couldn't even commit to owning his mess. I ignored every call, every text. He was unraveling. His mask was slipping fast. That's what happens when someone thinks they're in control, and suddenly realizes they're not even holding the pen. I imagined him explaining the box to Courtney. Her face when she saw the necklace wasn't from him. The realization that she wasn't the chosen one, just the placeholder. It was delicious. For once, I wasn't crying or chasing or doubting myself. I was watching the man who underestimated me learn a hard truth. I may have loved him deeply, but I loved my dignity more. Oh, I know exactly how she felt when she untied that ribbon. Giddy. Flattered. Probably teasing him. "Babe, you didn't have to." And then, a legal name she didn't recognize. Name. Filed at the county clerk's office. Signed and stamped. She would have gone quiet, flipping pages she didn't understand, until the photos made it crystal clear. Pictures of me and him. At our wedding, our house, our anniversaries. A photo of me wearing that necklace. A receipt dated 3 years earlier. She didn't get a love letter. She got the credits to the movie she interrupted. I pictured her dropping the box, stepping away like it might explode. He probably grabbed it, tried to explain, stammering things like "she's being dramatic" or "it's not like that." But it was like that. It was exactly like that. She opened a box expecting romance and got reality. And you know what the best part was? She couldn't blame me. Because I never even raised my voice. I placed the papers on top for a reason. That signature. His full name, our wedding date, the grounds for divorce marked infidelity, was the first thing she saw. I wanted the truth to hit her before anything else could sweeten the blow. She wasn't unwrapping a relationship. She was unwrapping a consequence. I imagined her voice shaking when she asked him, "You're married?" And him scrambling. It was complicated, we were on a break. She's overreacting. But no. The documents told a cleaner story than he ever could. 9 years together. Joint accounts. Shared mortgage. No prenup. That's when I knew I'd won. Not because I humiliated them, but because I didn't have to chase closure anymore. I had printed it, filed it, and gift-wrapped it. If you've ever been betrayed, you'll understand. Nothing is louder than silence. And nothing is more powerful than walking away before they even know you're gone. I printed 10 photos. I chose them carefully. One from our wedding. One from each anniversary. One of him asleep on my lap, taken during a movie night he said he couldn't remember. Each one told a story she'd never heard. Each one showed a version of him she'd never met. A man who laughed with his wife. A man who said forever and almost meant it. Until he didn't. I laid them in the box like a timeline of betrayal, so she'd know she wasn't special. She was a repeat scene in a movie I had already starred in. I imagined her quiet. No clever caption this time. No bubbly boomerang. Just a realization that she'd walked into someone else's life uninvited. And I didn't blame her. I didn't even hate her. I just knew, if she stayed with him after that, she deserved what came next. Because a man who cheats with you will eventually cheat on you. That's not revenge. That's gravity. I ended the box with a letter. Not typed. Not printed. Handwritten because some truths deserve ink and skin. It read, "Dear Courtney, I don't hate you. I don't even pity you. I just wanted you to see the full picture." He promised me the world, too. He wore that necklace in our bed. He took me to that cabin first. You're not the first, and sadly, you won't be the last. But you are the one who gets to decide what happens next. I've already decided for myself. This trip was supposed to be our anniversary. Now it's the anniversary of my freedom. You don't have to respond. This wasn't about revenge. This was about release. His wife. I kissed the page before sealing it in the box. Not out of emotion. Out of closure. Because that was the last thing I'd ever give them. And somehow the most powerful. First I thought it was spam. The caller ID said Aspen Peaks Resort. I answered, unsure why they'd call me directly. "Hi, Mrs. Langston," the woman said, hesitating over the name. "I just wanted to confirm. Was the package delivered as expected?" I blinked. "Yes." Silence. Then she lowered her voice. "I hope I'm not overstepping, but whatever you sent really shook things up. The suite has been vacated. Early checkout." I almost dropped the phone. "They're gone. Checked out this morning. Separate Ubers." Separate. I thanked her and hung up. My chest filled with something I hadn't felt in weeks. Power. I walked to the window and watched snow fall over the backyard. The same snow that was supposed to land on us in Aspen. Now it felt like a soft applause from the universe. I didn't ruin anything. They did. I just gave them the mirror. And they couldn't stand to look. That night he finally stopped pretending. No more excuses. No more lies. Just a message. "Please come back. Messed up. She's gone." And then, "You made your point. Now let's fix this." But the truth is, there was nothing left to fix. He thought I'd been waiting for a fight. That I wanted to scream, demand, cry. But I had already done the hardest part. Letting go. She had vanished, erased herself from social media. Blocked him probably. Because even the other woman has a breaking point. And I had handed it to her in a box. I didn't respond to his texts. I didn't take his calls. I let him sit in the silence he created. 9 years of love, undone by one snow-covered lie. And I wasn't about to rescue him from it. Because he didn't lose me when she left. He lost me the moment he chose her instead. I didn't burn anything. I didn't slash tires. I boxed my memories, labeled them, and moved out in silence. I took my dog, my books, my dignity. Left the monogrammed towels and the espresso machine he never learned to use. When he came home, the house echoed. No more scent of lavender candles. No music. Just absence. I imagine that's when it hit him. Real endings aren't loud. They're quiet. Like a drawer closing for the last time. I moved into a small apartment downtown. Nothing fancy, but it had a view. It wasn't about moving on yet. It was about moving out of what no longer served me. I slept better. Ate alone. I smiled without wondering if it would annoy him. Sometimes healing isn't fireworks. It's silence, and peace, and knowing you never needed revenge. Just the courage to walk away. The cabin reservation had been cancelled, but the spa day I booked at the nearby mountain lodge, still valid. So I went, alone. And for the first time in years I didn't feel small. I wrapped myself in a white robe, sipped champagne, and watched the snowfall from a steaming hot tub. A woman beside me asked, "Here with anyone?" Smiled. "Just me." She smiled back as if she understood. I thought about all the times I waited to be chosen again, to be held, to be heard, and how it had taken being broken to finally listen to myself. I wasn't someone's wife anymore. I wasn't someone's backup plan. I was someone who survived betrayal and turned it into beauty. As the snow melted on my skin, I whispered something I hadn't said in a long time. Thank you. Not to him. To myself. I walked out of that spa glowing. Not because of a facial or massage, but because I had burned the last thread of a man who never deserved me. And I did it without screaming, begging, or lowering myself. Just a gift box, wrapped in velvet, sealed with truth. He took his mistress on the anniversary trip he promised me. So I sent her the kind of gift that doesn't come with a receipt. Just clarity. An assigned future without him. That's what poetic justice looks like. Not blood. Not drama. Just silk robes and clean exits. He lost everything that day. Found myself. And if you're watching this thinking, that could have been me. Still can be. You just have to stop waiting for an apology and start writing your own ending. Have you ever been betrayed and stayed silent when you should have spoken loud with your actions? Comment your story below. And don't forget to subscribe for more real-style revenge stories every single week.